Hey guys, it's me again, and in today's tutorial is about this shirt dress that I found on Instagram. It's a girl boss dress from Fashion Nova Kids. So I love the dress and I wanted to create something similar to it. So here's mine. I made use of a black cotton fabric and an African print fabric. The sleeves are not the same because I was managing my fabric. I made this dress using the pieces of fabric that I have left in my sewing room. So if this is your first time of seeing my videos, my name is Sandra. You are so welcome to my space. If you love sewing just like I do, please hit on the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. You can also follow me on my Facebook page if you're kind of a Facebook person. So let's get started to the tutorial. So here first I folded the fabric into two to cut out the front pattern. This was why I was telling you that I was making use of the pieces of fabric that I have left in my sewing room. So I'll be cutting them separately. So here I've marked out the starting line for me. So what I'll be marking out next is the length of the shirt, and I'll be adding 1 inch hemming allowance. Don't mind the slanted line. The line wasn't slanted, it's from my the placement of my phone camera. So here I'll be marking out 3 inches. The reason for this 3 inches is that I'll be folding the placket for the button. I'll make use of 2 inches and one is going to be the overlap of the buttons. So here I'll mark out the neck width and the shoulder measurement divided by 2. I'll come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and here I'll be marking out the armhole measurement divided by 2. So here I'll repeat the shoulder measurement divided by 2. So I'll connect the lines like so. So here I'll be placing the chest measurement divided by 4, and I'll add 1.5 inches allowance to that. I will take down the half length measurement, which is the waist area, and I will place the waist measurement divided by 4 there, and I'll also add the 1.5 inch allowance. I'll just connect it like that. So from this place here I'll be getting down the hip depth measurement. So with that in mind, I'll place down the hip measurement divided by 4. I found out that my fabric was folded, so I now mark it out very well. I added the 1.5 inches allowance, then I took this measurement down and I connected it just like that. So what I'll be doing next now is that I'll be marking out the neck depth for the front, and I'll also be marking out the neck depth for the back. I made use of 2.5 inches here and half an inch for the back, but if you're making yours, don't go up to 2.5 inches. Add about 0.25 inches from joining the shoulders together. Create your armhole curve for the front and the armhole curve for the back as well. So after that, at this down area, I'll try to create that shirt like design. So here I'll be coming up by 1.5 inches. If you want yours to be very obvious, just like this Novakids own, you can go up by 2 inches or 2.5, but I don't want mine to be like that. That is why I just came up by 1.5 inches, and I'll just connect it like that. I'll go ahead and cut out this and I'll show you. So after cutting it out, this is what I have. So I'll just place another fabric into 2, and I'll place the front pattern to the folded area, because this one I want to cut out now is the back. But what I'm doing is that I don't want the back to have that up to 3 inches allowance on the front. I want the back to just have about half an inch. So that is for joining the sleeve, for putting the zipper. So I'll just fold this place very well. So after that, I'll go ahead and just trace out the front pattern on the back pattern, on the folded area for the back pattern. I'll just trace it out using my chalk, and I'll trace out this down part too. So I'll just remove this front pattern like this, and I'll go ahead and cut out this back pattern. So after cutting out the back pattern, this is what I have. So I'll fold this fabric, this black one, into 4 because I want to cut out the upper part of this shirt. So I'll be making use of that same, the back pattern, the back piece. I'll just fold this the black pattern very well, so that the black fabric, I mean to say, very well, so that I can trace out these ones. So I'll just place it down like that, and I'll use my chalk to trace it out, the back pattern, but we folded it into 4. So after tracing it out, what I'll be doing now is that I'll be marking out, coming down by the 1/2 inch that we mark out earlier for joining the shoulders together, and I'll take the length of the half cut that I want mine to be 11. So I'll take it down like that, and I'll add 1 inch hemming allowance. So because I don't want this black pattern to be equal with the main fabric, I'll just come in here, and for the depth I'll also be going down, because I want people to be seeing the African print, the Ankara fabric, a little bit on that neck area. So the black pattern has to go down in the neck area. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So after cutting it out, I have this. I'll just label this so that I'll know the right side of the fabric and the wrong side of the fabric. So after doing that, I'll set it aside. I'll get my front pattern. So I'll trim off the front neckline and the front armhole. So after trimming it out, I have this. So I placed my black pattern on top of the African prints, and I noticed that they are almost the same in width and in depth. They are the same in depth. So I'll be coming down more on this black pattern. So I'll just mark out. I'll come down by about 1 inch from there, about 1 inch. If you want yours to be more visible like the Fashion Nova ones, come down by 2 inches from the neck width of the African print, that is the main dress. Come in by 2 inches, but me here, I'll just be coming down by 1 inch. So what I'll do is that I will now place the front black pattern to the back black piece, and I will trim off this new neckline. I will cut it out. So after cutting it out, this is what I have. I'll now trim off the front armhole like that, and that is just it for this particular black piece. So what I'll do next now is that I'll just set this one aside. I'll fold another fabric into 2. I mark out my 1/2 inch. So I'll be cutting out the sleeve. So this is the sleeve length plus 1 inch hemming allowance, and here is the 5 inches that I came down, and here I will mark out the armhole measurement divided by 2. So I'll just create my armhole curve using my freehand. If you have a French curve, make use of a French curve. So here is the sleeve round divided by 2 plus 1 inch allowance. I'll just connect it like that. I'll add 0.5 inch or 0.25 inch here for joining it to the shirt itself. So I'll cut this one out. I'll be cutting out another one with this. So here is the 2. I'll notch the center which is the shoulder point. So I'll just label this one the wrong side so that I'll know the wrong side of my fabric. So I fold the African printing tool for to complete the sleeve. I mark out my starting line. I make sure I have about half an inch there too for joining it to this black piece to complete the sleeve. So I'll be taking away the length of the sleeve for the black, and here I'll be marking out the full length of my sleeve. On the black pattern, I took away 6 inches. So while marking out the length of this place, I will just the remaining fabric, the Ankara fabric, I will take away the 6 inches, just like if you are cutting a yoke fabric, a yoke from a bustier. So this is what I'll be doing. I don't want mine to be big down there, so I'll just slant it like that. If you want yours to be big and have gathers just like the Novakids own, just have enough excess there so that after which you just go ahead and gather to create that look on the sleeve. So here I'll just label my fabric so that I know the wrong side of the fabric, and this is what it will be looking like once it's been done. This is what the sleeve will be looking like. I think we are getting somewhere with this. At least I can see a little similarities to the Novakids own. So for the strip that I'll use to turn the sleeve, I have about 8 inches there. So I'll add 1 inch, that is half inch on both sides, which will make it 9 inches. And because it will be like a bias kind of stuff, so I'll be taking the width of 1.5 inches. If you don't really get me, just be watching and you will see how and where I'll attach this. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So down to the stitching point, so I'll just get the shirt itself, the African print, and I will place the back sides like that, right side facing me and the wrong side facing the table. So I will place it with the right side of the front, facing the right side of the back piece. So I'll just place them together like that, and I'll go ahead and stitch down the shoulders together. I'll also get the back and the front pattern of this black cotton fabric, and I'll also hold it down place it down, right side facing right side like that, and I'll go ahead and stitch down the shoulders together just like I did on the Ankara fabric. So after stitching it down, this is what I have, as you can see. So this is what it looks like. So what I'll be doing next now is that I will get this my black fabric. So I'll be making use of a bias tape, this black bias tape. I'll use it to turn the neckline of this black cotton fabric. So after turning it out, this is what I have. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So this is what I have after turning the black with a black bias tape. So what I'll do next now is that I'll get my shirt itself, the African print. So what I'll do now is that I'll get to this place that will be attaching the buttons and the buttonhole. Remember when we were drafting this shirt, I mark out 3 inches there, but here I'll be making use of this very light gum stay. They call it the tissue one. So I'll be cutting it out 2 inches. I have 3 inches there, but I'll be making use of 2 inches. The remaining 1 inch is just for the buttons and the buttonholes to overlap on top of each other. So here I'll go ahead and iron down these 2 inches to this particular place. I'll iron it on the other side as well. So after ironing it, what I'll do is that I'll fold in 1 inch and I'll fold in another 1 inch, just like this, and I'll iron it. After ironing, I will stitch it down as well. I'll do the same thing on the other side. So after ironing it together and stitching it down, this is what I have. Please excuse my baby, she's here making noise. So I'll just place them like this. As you can see, it's coming together small. So I'll just place it on top of each other like that. And what I'll do next now is that I'll get this the black piece, and I'll place it on top of the main fabric, right, the wrong side of the black facing the right side of the fabric. So I'll pin down the shoulders together, the shoulder seam. I'll pin the black shoulder seam together to the shoulder seam of the African print, the Ankara fabric. Now I'll do the same thing on this other side as well. After which I will now, the essence of this is for it to lay flat for me. So here I'll be pinning this down. Remember, it's an illusion button. It's an illusion button. So we'll be closing down this button, but to an extent. Some will be open, some will be closed. This upper part here will be closed. That is why it has a zipper at the back. So here what I'll be doing is now is that I'll go ahead and stitch down this place, because I want to close that particular place. So I'll just stitch it down to this particular point here. That is where I will stop, and I will get this black piece and I will shape it out like that. I'll pin it down and I'll shape it using about 0.5 inches, and I'll do the same thing on this other side as well. The essence of this is that to make this black look as if it is being put on top of the shirt, that is not sewn together. So this is it. I've secured this particular place and I've also stitched down this place. So what I'll be doing is that I'll go ahead and now hem this black piece, only this black piece. I'll go ahead and hem it all the way around. So after hemming it, this is what I have so far. So what I'll be doing next now is that I'll go ahead and pin this black pattern to the Ankara fabric, the armholes together. I'll pin it round the armholes. So after pinning it round, what I'll do next is that I'll go ahead and pin it down on the zipper areas, and I'll pin down the neckline together just like that, as you can see me doing. I'll pin it down all the way around to the back. After pinning it down, what I'll do now is that I'll go ahead and I'll stitch it down on that place that I sew when I was turning it with a bias tape. So after doing so, this is what I have. So what I'll be doing now is that I'll go ahead and shape out the shirt of the Ankara fabric. I've shaped out for the black fabric, so I'll go ahead and shape out for the Ankara fabric. I'll pin it down, right side facing right side, and I will shape it down using half an inch. Remember, when we were drafting it, we added 1.5 inches, so I'll be shaping it out using half an inch. So I'll shape it down, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. So after shaping it down, this is what it looks like. You can see the black piece is separate from the Ankara piece. That is the reason for shaping it out differently. So what I'll be doing now is that I'll be closing the back seam. I'll be holding the center backs together. I'll leave a space for the zipper, and I will go ahead and stitch down the remaining allowances. So from somewhere here, after the half length, from somewhere there, I'll go ahead and sew it down to the end of the gown or the dress. So what I'll be doing now is that we work on the sleeves. Let's work on the sleeve. So I'll get this black pattern. I will fold it in. After folding it twice like this, I don't really like the outcome, so I'll just go ahead and fold it just once. I'll fold it once. You can add 2 inches to your own if you want it to be this wide, but I'll just go ahead and fold it this once, and I'll stitch at this edge here. I will also do the same thing on the other one. So after stitching it down, this is what I have. So what I'll do now is that I'll get this black piece like so, and I'll get the Ankara piece as well. The right side of the Ankara fabric facing the wrong side of the black piece, just like that, and I'll place it like this together, and I will sew it down to this place. I'll stitch it down. This will make it to have a double line at the right side of the sleeve. So I'll just do the same thing on the other side. So after stitching it down, this is what I have on the sleeves. You can see they are coming out nice. So what I'll be doing next now is that I'll be stitching down this strip that I cut out, the 1.5-inch width strip that we cut out. So on the wrong side of the sleeve, I'll be placing the strip, the right side of the sleeve, the strip, and I will stitch it down like so. I'll do the same thing on the other sleeve as well. So after stitching it down, this is what I have. So to the right side of the sleeve, I'll fold in 1/2 inch like this, and I'll cover the other one just like that, and I'll stitch it down. So for this particular sleeve here, I've already done that, as you can see. So what I'll be doing now is that I will fold in the sleeves right side facing right side into 2 like that, and I'll go ahead and stitch it down using 1/2 inch. I'll stitch it down. So after stitching it down, I'll go ahead and I'll trim off this excess that I have here, so that I don't want the allowance to be too big inside. So I'll go ahead and turn this sleeve inside out. I'll turn it inside out like that, and I'll be pinning it to the shirt itself. You can see how nice the sleeve looks like. So what I'll do is that I'll get this dress, I've pinned the other sleeve, so I'll go ahead, I'll get the shoulder seam of the shirt and the notched area of this black sleeve, and I will pin it together. I'll pin the 2 of them together. Remember, when you are pinning, make sure you are getting both the black fabric on the shirt itself and the African print, the Ankara fabric too. So here, as you can see, when we were drafting for the sleeve, remember we cut out few inches on the front armhole, but because we didn't cut it out on the sleeve, that is why I'm taking away a few inches from the sleeve. As you can see, you can go ahead and just trim yours out before sewing it down to the armhole area. So I'll pin it round. After pinning it round, this is what it looks like. I've also done the same thing on the other sleeve as well. I'll pin it round. So I'll go ahead and stitch it down. So after stitching it down, this is what we have after stitching it down. So here I've also attached this collar. In case if you don't know how to do this, I have a separate video on how to do this. I'll place the link down in the description box below. I'll also pin it on the comment section, so you can just go there and click on to watch how this collar was made. I'll attach my zipper, and here I've already ironed the hem. I ironed in 1/2 inch, then I went on to iron it 1/2 inch again. I'll sew it down. After stitching it down, I'll go ahead and make about 3 inches. I'll go ahead and make about 3 buttonholes on this down area, and I'll attach illusion buttons on the upper places that are closed together. So after stitching it, this is what I have. I hope you like this video. Comment on this video, share this video, and until my next video, happy sewing.